Hi, I'm Meg Benke. I'm professor in the School of Graduate Studies at Empire State College, part of the State University of New York. And I also had the pleasure this year to serve as a Fulbright Fellow at the Waterford Institute of Technology in Ireland. We are here to bring you the Prior Learning Assessment Professional Development Series. These videos are funded by the SUNY Training and Education in Advanced Manufacturing TACT grant. I'm here with Dr. John Beckem, who is a professor here at Empire State College, who works in the area of management and finance. John, we're here to talk today about prior learning assessment, or the recognition of prior learning, and how you as a faculty member evaluate a portfolio and how you would talk to other faculty about how you evaluate a portfolio. So I'd be interested first in if you could talk about a particular student that you worked with and how you approach the evaluation process with that student.
Oh, wow, great question. Well, I had a student, which was a female student, and she had a lot of anxiety, apprehension. She had been in the workforce for about 30 years,
Wow.
took some time out to raise some children, and then come back into the workforce. And so I'm at the point where she was coming back. She wanted to get some credit for things that she had already performed in the workforce, and she happened to be a soldier. And so, number one, because of her anxiety, I wanted to relate to her. You know, how can I make this person comfortable? Because that was the key to me. I can't get you to articulate anything if you're so nervous and scared. And so being able to find something that we can relate to, you know, whether it was like things that we had maybe come across in the work field. In our case, it was the military because we had that background, and I was able to share that with her. And so after getting to a point of comfortability, now it was about tell me about yourself, tell me what you have done, and then beginning to ask open-ended questions to pull more out of her. So that's my approach, and that was very successful with her situation, where she had worked in the military in the health field and now trying to get credit for doing that. And a lot of things she had forgot about. You know, she knew that she had the experience, but trying to pull it out was a little bit difficult.
And how do you, other faculty might not be as experienced as you are in identifying whether this is really college level learning. How do you make that decision?
Well, I start off with the theories. You know, what theories or concepts that you have learned that could be applicable to something you might find out of a textbook.
Right.
You know, so I start with that, number one. Number two, I look at and say, well, what's your understanding of it? What's your belief in regard to this ideal? And what are opposing schools of thoughts? Yeah. So a person being able to understand from multiple viewpoints whatever that subject is. Then I ask them also, how do you apply this? You know, how do we take it from the theory to the application? And also, what questions are you still wondering about? You know, learning is something that's constantly evolving and going on. And so if you were to take this to the next point, what would you want still to learn about? And lastly, if you had to teach someone the subject, how would you do it?
Right.
You know, and then they begin to create almost a outline of things that they would teach in regard to that subject, and it helps them articulate it.
Some faculty might be concerned about the integrity of the process. How do you make sure that this is quality, that there's not deception or fraud in this process?
Being consistent. So, you know, with the open-ended questions that I ask, and I can go over 4 of them. Identify the important concepts, research findings, theories, or ideals that you've learned regarding your topic or subject. Number 2, why do you believe these concepts, research findings, theories, or ideals are important? 3, apply what you've learned from your particular topic to some aspect of your life. What questions has your learning on this particular topic raised for you, and what are you still wondering about? So being very consistent in the open-ended questions, asking for multiple schools of thought regarding that, trying to find a way a person have learned how to apply the theories, keeps the integrity, because I'm not jumping from one type of evaluation in one student to another type. So I'm very consistent in how I'm evaluating, and that keeps the integrity.
Great. It sounds like you enjoy this process,
Oh,
John.
absolutely. I enjoy it so much because I myself went through it. You know, when I was an undergrad, I had experience working in engineering as well as the military. And so I was at an institution that gave credit for prior learning, and I went through the process. And so I use that as a relational piece when I'm evaluating. I understand what you're going through. You're scared, you're anxious, you might forget things. But we could just have a conversation, kind of like you and I doing, and we can pull out all the important aspects that's necessary for you to be able to articulate your learning.
Great. Thank you, John.